Hi everyone, it's Dominique Barbie here, and today I just want to talk to you about IPS, Infinity Profit System. We call it IPS for short. I just want to tell you about what has been going on and why it is important to get on with my team in IPS. First off, I have been in this industry for 5 years now, and I must say it has been an amazing journey. The beginning, it was so hard for me, okay? I have three children. I'm married. I go to school full time. I don't have that much time on my hands to, you know, do some of the things that it takes to be successful. And when I first started, it was very hard for me because I didn't have a mentor to actually show and train me what it takes to be successful. I was working a dead end job. I was living paycheck to paycheck, actually beyond paycheck to paycheck. And it was very frustrating for me because when you have three children, daycare costs are extremely expensive, and it was costing more in daycare just to go to work. It was costing more in gas just to go to work. It was very frustrating to the point where I would have sleepless nights, and I would just get to the point where I was just like, maybe I just deserve to be, not as successful as others. I really got to that point, and the next day after I just, almost was at the point of giving up, not just on life or anything like that, but I was just at the point where I just came to the, acknowledgement that I was just one of those people who, didn't who wouldn't have, the best things in life, and, you know, just the bare minimum. When I say bare minimum, I could not even afford to get a washing machine and dryer. I could not afford to get a regular dining set or a couch, or the normal things that mostly people have. It's very sad when you can't afford the basic things because you're living so paycheck to paycheck. All you have is enough to pay your bills, barely. I was borrowing money from my husband's parents, and we were borrowing money. He was working 12-hour shifts, coming home with, crunchy toes and just aches and pains, and it was just so sad. I was just, it was very sad for me. I was just at a very, sad point in my life, and I just told my Savior, I believe in Jesus Christ and all of that stuff. And I just told him, I said, I love you, and I'm not gonna do like anything illegal or things that I could, possibly do to actually make income. I would just, be an honest individual and just suck it up. So the next day I woke up and I was just like, something just woke me up and shook me, and I knew it was, it was that voice, and it was just like, no, you are not meant to just barely scrape and get by. You are not meant to just barely get by. You are not meant to not be able to afford the things you want. You are not meant to be the borrower and have to always, borrow money from my dad anymore. I have to wait till tax time to have to pay him back. You know, we are not meant to just be, on the side and barely getting by. And if the voice told me I was meant to help and empower, people to, it was mostly women I heard in my head. And then it was, of course, there were going to be more people that came along. Help those people to be successful and be more than they can be. And I was just looking like, who, me? I barely can get by myself. You know what I'm saying? So when that voice came, it was just like, it just shook me to basically say, you have to get up, you have to push forward, you have to do what you have to do by all means necessary. So the next step that I took was, I took that step and I started believing in myself, and I said, no, whatever that voice was that was telling me that, that I'm not meant to be anything and I'm just barely meant to get by and giving up like that, I told that voice, no more, no more. And I started, my journey in, being really focused on making money online because I could not afford those jobs out there. I couldn't. I couldn't. So after that, I just started digging into like personal development and things to make myself better. And with Jim Rohn, when I watched Jim Rohn, he said, for things to change, you have to change. The what you have come to today is basically the sum of your decisions. So I decided that day to. I'm sorry, I have pop ups. I decided that day to, you know, take that next step. I had to change my habits. I had to change the things that I was doing. And I started to dig into what it takes to make money online, and I started training myself and getting into tools and trainings to be successful. When I no longer blamed whoever my sponsor was, okay? What I did was I trained myself and I locked arms with a few people who actually did help me. Thank goodness, some people did, you know, and everything changed after that. I started to start making money online. I started generating income online, and after that, once I figured out, it clicked. Okay. Then Infinity Profit System came into my life. I saw the compensation plan, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is everything that I have been looking for. You know, daily cash flow, 100% commissions. I was doing companies where they were only getting, you know, like 25% commissions. So you had to work your butt off just to make any type of real income. Okay, so with the Infinity Profit System, it has absolutely been so easy to duplicate. Okay, and now I have come up with a, you know, a successful step-by-step guide to being successful. Okay, a successful step-by-step guide to being successful. So when you lock arms with me, you will have all of the tools that I use to become successful with this company. Okay, and on top of that, you will have a system in place. I have just, you know, put a system in place for everyone to get results. Okay, you will know how to get leads, laser targeted leads. You will know how to have use that system to put your business on autopilot. You will have cash flow coming into you so you can be able to actually survive. You know, you don't have to quit your job right now. You can do this part time or full time. It's up to you, but the choice is yours. If you are the type of person who is a committed person and committed to being successful, you can reach success. Okay, and because of those things that happened to me, it pushed me into a burning desire to succeed. When I say burning desire, I mean burning desire. It was either I was going to make it or I was going to die trying. I was that serious. And let me tell you, in a 3 month period, I was able to generate over $35,000. Okay, my first month, I was able to bring in over 150 people into the organization because that's how much I wanted success. I was just out to do whatever I could to stop us from working 12-hour shifts and having to pay hundreds of dollars for daycare and, you know, stuff like that. And I also wanted to, you know, inspire and empower people that you are not meant to just barely scrape by. You are meant to be a have dominion over your money, your finances, everything. And I truly feel that is true. So I'm just gonna go back and, you know, show you proof because I know some people like proof, but at the end of the day, it's about you. You know, someone the other day asked me how was I able to be successful. It was because of those reasons. I had a burning desire. I didn't just sign up and do nothing. I actually followed simple steps to be successful. I generated, you know, the leads. I had the system, and I show others how to do the same. And how this compensation plan is set up, when you help others, you become more successful. So that is my goal, to help as many people as I can to, you know, reach the type of income that they want to reach and get the, you know, the discounts and the savings and the courses on how to brand yourself and how to put your business on automation and stuff like that, you know. And I just want to be that trailblazer to where when you see me, when you look at me, all you know is that I'm a successful person, instead of the people who talked about me in the past, said I'll never amount to anything, the haters, it doesn't matter, anything like that. So I'm not trying to hype you up, but I do want you to understand, when you join my team, I expect certain things of you. I hold my team accountable for things, you know, so you can be successful. I do it out of, you know, love and, you know, I truly, genuinely feel that I want to help people. That's my goal. I grew up always knowing that I wanted to help people, but when I actually looked at, being a nurse, you think of, they help people who are sick. I squirm, at blood. So I was like, how am I gonna make this a career when I don't even like blood? Oh my goodness. So that scared me away. So when I found network marketing, it was like a dream come true for me, and I just want to, I want to make it big and I want to help others get my results. So here's my back office. As you can see, it's been a little over 90 days and it's almost $36,000 at the moment. And this is residual income that you will be receiving. As you can see, that's me. It's not anyone else. And I really want to help people with this company. But it's up to you. I don't like to, force people to do anything. I'm not here to persuade you to do anything you don't want to do. I just want to give you the information so you can make a conscious decision for yourself. Okay, so that's all I have for now. I put the link to how to join my team below. It's very important that you choose a good sponsor you are um, when you are choosing a company, you know, and I am that good sponsor. I will actually show you and mentor you and help you to be successful. I won't just leave you, I'll give you my step-by-step instructions on how to be successful, and I will see you guys on the other side, and I'm so excited for you to join my team. All right, have a good day.